Suppose we were taking the trip to Solstheim. Let's see how long our trip will be.
I already told you. I'm not going back to Solstheim.
You owe me. Those cultists you brought here tried to kill me.
Alright, you have a point. Taking you back to find out who sent them is the least I can do. Besides, maybe you can put a stop to whatever's going on over there. I owe them a bit of payback myself. Well, here we are. This is Raven Rock. Can't say I'm all that glad to see it again. Good luck. Maybe you can figure out what's going on around here.
I don't recognize you. So I'll assume this is your first visit to Raven Rock, Outlander. State your intentions.
I'm looking for Mirak.
Mirak, I'm not sure that I do. Just remember, Raven Rock is sovereign territory of House Redoran. This is Morrowind, not Skyrim. While you're here, you will be expected to abide by our laws. Any questions?
That Morrowind music I hear playing in the background. You know who Mirak is?
I'm unsure. I swear I know the name, but I cannot place it.
Can you tell me anything about him?
I don't think so. I'm not... The name has something to do with the Earthstone, I think, but I'm not sure what.
The Raven Rock is purely a Dunmer settlement.
Raven Rock started out as an Imperial settlement. The Empire decided to abandon it, just as my people were first setting foot here. They left the town a shambles, but when House Redoran took over, we turned it around and it became ours. And even if it's been a struggle to make this island livable, we're proud to call it home.
Why are you so suspicious of visitors?
I have to be. As second counselor, the security of Raven Rock is my primary concern.
Has security been an issue?
This isn't exactly the city of Blacklight. We're on the frontier out here, and we've had more than a fair share of troubles. After all we've been through together, I refuse to let Councillor Morvain down.
What do your titles mean?
Councillor Morvain is House Redoran's representative on Solstheim. As second councillor, it's my job to support him and make certain his rule is enforced. Remember, we're watching you. Giallan, I was starting to wonder what happened to you.
Redoran Guard. This is definitely a flashback to Morrowind. Same architecture, same music, same art style. Same alchemical ingredients.
Can't believe I've been stuck here this long. Last time I rode Jalen's ship, I was heaving my guts for a week. Dunmer weren't meant to ride on water.
Investigate the shrines. Search for information about Mirak. Morvain.
You lost?
Nope.
You look able to venture outside of town. Perhaps you could help me recover something precious that was lost.
You mentioned that you lost something.
A few months ago, I had sent an important folio to the first edition bookshop in the Imperial City to be rebound. They sent it back to me recently, but it never arrived.
Was it aboard a ship?
Yes, the Strident Squall, or something like that. The damn thing sunk right off the coast of Solstheim. Can you imagine?
Any news from Vardenfell, Councillor?
How do you know?
I'm hearing
One of
that
the
council
sailors survived.
staying in Blacklight
Poor thing
for-
crawled all the way to Raven Rock on his hands and knees.
Now that they're under House Redoran's
Before he
protection,
died,
why
he
would they
told the
want to go
Redoran
back
Guard
to
about the
Cornwall?
wreck and warned us that it was going to be crawling with reavers.
I'll see if I can find the book for you.
Thank you. You have no idea how much it hurts losing such a precious heirloom. My husband is second counselor, so I certainly have the means to reward you if you find my folio. You aren't here with bad news regarding my husband, are you?
Do you know
Perhaps it's
someone
Barrett.
called Mirak?
Why does that sound so familiar? There's no one here by that name, and yet I swear I've heard it.
Where did you hear the name?
I don't know. It almost feels like a dream. Something about a temple on the island. My husband is second counselor, so I certainly
On behalf
have the
of
means
House
to reward
Redoran and
you
as
if
Councillor
you
of
find my
Raven Rock,
folio.
I bid you welcome.
Do you rule all of
How much longer do
Solstheim?
you intend to serve
Solstheim
his
is theoretically under my rule,
The Redoran
but without
Council
revenue
tasked
from
me
the
with
mine,
keeping Laeral
I lack the
alive,
resources
which
to
I've
actually
done
govern
for
anything
over
but Raven
100
Rock
years.
itself.
He's the
Not that
closest
there's
thing
much
I've
beyond
had
the
to
confines of
brother.
our town
We
anyway.
all owe him our lives.
Raven Rock is
I
the only
suddenly
settlement.
turned my back.
Well, there's a small enclave of
I'm
Nords to
sorry,
the
my
north
lord.
in Skarl
It's this
village.
island.
They
It's
pretty
the
much
Lord
keep to
Saviors
themselves,
Village
and we
Vardenfell.
both like it that
It's as
way.
though a part of
Then
me
there's
is
Tel
missing.
Mithrin to the east.
Every
The
Dunmer
Telvanni
left
live
a
out
piece of
there.
themselves
Sort of a
behind
strange
when they
lot.
departed our home.
But since we're both from
All we
Morrowind,
can do
we get
is
along.
make the most of what
Other
we
than
have.
that, Solstheim is crawling with bandits and weaklings. But that's to be expected living in a frontier like this.
So two other settlements, the natives and Telvanni wizards. What happened to the mine?
It used to be one of the richest ebony mines in Morrowind, but it dried out years ago. Now, we're barely holding out here. Without the mine, Raven Rock doesn't feel like it can last much longer.
Tell me about House Redoran.
You've never heard of House Redoran? We're the mightiest of the great houses, and we lead the Council, the ruling body of Morrowind.
You mean there's no Jarl?
This isn't Skyrim, Outlander. A group of powerful and influential Dunmer families have been ruling Morrowind for millennia. They embody a council made up of 5 great houses: Telvanni, Dres, Endoral, Sadras, and Redoran.
But you said Redoran leads the council.
Well, of course. With 4 other houses on the council, someone has to keep the rabble organized. Our house leads the council by virtue of our preeminence in battle, wisdom, and ancestral glory.
Sounds rather complicated.
Yes, I imagine it would to someone not of our people. If you're interested in pursuing the subject, help yourself to any of the historical volumes in my library. My doors are open
I
if you
think
wish
I
to.
want to ask about Mirak again. We already have. We have the relevant information.
Discuss matters
Reach the
involving
Temple of
Raven Rock.
Mirak. We probably have a map location too. Yeah. Center of the island, Temple of Mirak. So this isn't a massive island or anything. It's still a fair size. They didn't get, okay. I can see the Skal village there. You can see the actual buildings. There's Telvanni in the settlement. I guess it's a wizard's tower basically. A lot of ruins all over the place.
May I have a word with you, Counselor?
Of course, and
So we were taught to visit the Earthstone.
lover Mallory is a wonder with a hammer and anvil. He mended my armor like an old brother.
Place looks grey because it's covered in ash. Volcanic ash.
Here in
So
the
close to
shrine.
Morrowind. The Red Mountain.
That they have forgotten.
The Earthstone is a natural part of the island. The structure on top of it is not.
Here do we toil, that we might remember.
You there. You don't seem to be in quite the same state as the others
By
here.
night,
Very interesting. May I ask what it is you're doing
day
here?
was stolen
I'm looking for someone named Mirak.
far
Mirak,
from
Mirak.
ourselves.
It sounds familiar, and yet I can't quite place... Oh, wait, I recall. But that makes very little sense. Mirak's been dead for thousands of years.
What does that mean?
Rose ever near
I'm not
to
sure.
us?
But it is fascinating, isn't it? Perhaps it has some relation to what's going on here. Quite unexpected. I'm afraid I can't give you any answers, but there are ruins of an ancient temple of Mirax toward the center of the
Our
island.
hands once
If
were
I were
oiled.
you, I'd look there.
Now through that
What are these people doing?
Building something, clearly.
when the
And
world
yet they
shall
don't
see.
seem to have much to say about it. I'm very interested to find out what happens when they finish.
Have you tried to stop this?
Certainly not. Doing so would interfere with whatever is going on. And I would be unable to see how this all turns out.
That world will cease to be.
Okay, what can you tell me about Morrowind?
It is the only place where silt striders can be found. Although I managed to transplant a few here when I arrived. The ignorant think it is only a place of ash and lava. It has rolling green plains and swamps and verdant hills too.
That we
You are too
might
young to remember the Nerevari. He defeated Dagahur and saved us all from the
By
blight.
night we recline.
Yeah. Name Neeloth rings a bell, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
Red Mountain dominates the island. Every now and then, ash and debris from an eruption land on our shelves.
Master Neeloth. It was a member of House Telvanni, but I don't recall the position. They're ruled by mage lords that are very independent, don't really answer to anyone. I think Master Neeloth was one of them.
It's the homeland of the Dunmer. The lesser races call us Dark Elves. We built great works there, like Vivek and Aldrun. Many of them are destroyed now, either by Red Mountain or the Argonian invasion. There is the big island of Ardenfell on the coastal mainland.
And when the world
House
shall
Telvanni
see,
has its properties on Vardenfell. I've never been to the
when
mainland
the world
myself.
shall see,
When the city of Vivek was destroyed, it took decades for us to rebuild. We are still but a shadow of our glorious
And when
past,
the
but
world
someday we will rise again.
that
Are we
world
done?
will
I
cease
thought
to
so.
be.
Hmm.
Here in his shrine.
The Telvanni site would be the logical place to try to get more spells. They're really magic focused, like really focused on magic. They must have a spell seller. Not sure if they're gonna sell to me though. Usually they don't deal with people outside
You
their
lost?
own house, but
Oh, my father and mother are the richest on the island, and that includes Councillor Morvain. Next time, then.
Vendel Severin. A pleasure to meet you, Serio.
I can only ask about the Mirak, which means I'm not gonna ask. It's a waste of time. We've got the relevant information. Don't want to hear repeats of what we already know. Abandoned building. Just a couple of people are slumming here.
You haven't seen Crescius Corellius, have you? That foolish old man's taken my pickaxe again. Bring your weapons and armor to me. I'll fix it up right.
I'm staying out of this.
Oh, fight. Wondering why he stopped talking to me.
Get him. Kill him.
Shit. It's different. It's probably a better dragon than we faced before. This is sort of a brown golden color. And it doesn't have the, it's frost dragon. The lighting makes it look brown. Okay, crashed. I need to reach him fairly quickly though, otherwise he will regenerate and continue flying. That's something we don't want. Frost Astronaut might be a good diversion here. Probably hard to take down by the dragon. Doesn't give a shit about the ice attack. Kill camera that ruining the kill again. Might as well take everything with something to trade. Ravenrock Mine. Okay, we had a discussion here.
You haven't seen Crescius Corellius, have you? That foolish old man's taken my pickaxe again.
Why all the fuss over a pickaxe?
No, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill pickaxe. I'm talking about an ancient Nordic pickaxe. They don't exactly grow on trees, you know.
Can't you just get the guard to find craziers?
I prefer to handle these things on my own. Look, if you see Crescius, tell him to give me that pickaxe back, and I'll pay you for the trouble.
What is an ancient Nordic pickaxe?
It's the only tool tough enough to crack Stalrim, is what it is. Not many of those beauties left in the world. Forging them is a lost art. The one Crescius borrowed came from the Skull village up north. I, traded them some goods for it.
Is Stalrim a type of ore?
Calling Stalrim an ore is like calling my forge a campfire. Some folks say it's enchanted ice, but I think there's more to it than that.
I assume it's rare.
I don't think I've come across more than a chunk or two in my lifetime, and smithing's my trade. If you're looking to learn more, you should head over to the Skull village. Someone there's bound to know more about it than I do.
How did you end up in Ravenrock?
A fine question, and the one that I hear most often from visitors to our town. I wish I had a more romantic tale to tell, but I was simply seeking my fortune and chose Ravenrock to ply my trade. Besides, knowing how to repair bone mold armor wasn't very useful in Riften.
Who taught you that?
I had a friend over there, a dark elf named Van Ryth, a very talented armor smith. Spent a lot of time with the guy swapping smithing techniques. Learned a heck of a lot, including how to repair bone mold. After he moved on to greener pastures, I decided to pack up, move out here, and put those lessons to the test. Been here ever since. Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs.
See if there's anything interesting here. Nope.
You tell Crushes he better give that pickaxe back to me, or else.
Or else what?
Looking for any potions? Ingredients? Alchemical supplies?
Alchemy training. You're selling quite a few exotic ingredients.
Yes, I'm proud to say that I grow or harvest most of it myself. I only wish I had a better source for netch jelly. Those creatures are difficult to track down since it's so dangerous beyond the bulwark.
I could gather some.
That would be splendid. I'd be more than happy to give you something for the effort.
Where did you learn your alchemy skill?
After we left Morrowind, we found ourselves in Skyrim. We wandered around a bit and ended up in Morthal, where we took up temporary residence with Lami, the town's alchemist. I was fascinated by her work, and over a period of a few years, she taught me quite a bit.
Why did you leave Morthal?
It wasn't long before we became homesick. We were the only Dunmer in Morthal. When word reached us that a settlement of Dunmer was forming on Solstheim, we were thrilled. It's been difficult, but I'm not regretting it one bit. In fact, I'm glad we've been able to stay and help.
How has Raven Rock needed your help?
As you can imagine, the eruption of the Red Mountain took an awful toll on Solstheim. Hunting for game has been scarce, and the waters are apparently too tainted for fishing. According to Councillor Morvain, my husband's been Raven Rock's most important food source for decades. Take a look.
I'm mostly interested in selling the dragon hearts. Excellent.
Careful with those netches. They may look tame, but they can seriously hurt you when threatened.
My wife and I are doing the best we can to keep Raven Rock fed. Got the best merchandise on the island. Have a look for yourself.
Ooh. General shop with 56 gold.
Next time you're hungry, stop by.
Want to buy anything, or just laugh at our misfortunes?
You sell special mining gear.
Mining gear? No. However, I used to sell East Empire pendants until I ran out of them. Popular little item.
What is an East Empire pendant?
It's an amulet that was made exclusively for the East Empire Company. They gave them to their workers as an incentive at one point. A kind of reward for extra effort. They're no longer being made, so they've become a collectible. I'd love to get my hands on a few of them.
Where can you find them?
They could be anywhere on the island. The mines might be a good place to start. If you find any while you're exploring Solstheim, bring them here, and I'll pay you for them.
Are sales that bad out here?
Bad? What if I told you that you're the first person that's even considered looking at my wares today? I've half a mind to contact my friends at the East Empire Company and see if they need an extra hand in Windhelm.
You have friends in the East Empire Company?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I've corresponded with Vittoria Vici herself more than once. You know, the lady who runs the East Empire Company warehouse in Solitude. The biggest warehouse they have in Skyrim.
Okay.
Bah, you're just like the rest of the folks around here. Mark my words, the East Empire Company will return to Raven Rock, and when they do, I'll be at the top of their list.
Ah, fine.
Everything I've
Not
got on
fine.
display, really.
Well, I don't think I have anything worthwhile to sell anymore.
The East Empire pendants are scattered all over.
Ancient Nordic pickaxe.
So leave.
What I think I'm gonna do is going to head toward the Vani settlement.
The stone unturned.
There doesn't seem to be anything here. This is your typical village shopping opportunities. Suppose I should visit this temple. I doubt this is, yeah. This might have some restoration spells, but I doubt anything beyond that.
Are you here to pray? Or perhaps pay your respects at our ancestral tomb?
What are the ancestral tombs?
They're where we inter our dead. They are sacred places, meant to honor their passing. Sadly, we've been unable to use the ancestral tomb beneath the temple as of late, and have resorted to other locations to scatter the remains.
Why can't you use the tomb?
Those foul vermin, the abominations we call ash spawn, have risen from the ashes of our own ancestors. They're befouling the memories of our forefathers by defiling their remains.
I'll cleanse the tomb.
Thank you, Wanderer. That would be most kind. Here, this key should open the door to the tomb. Be cautious, friend. The ash spawn are soulless beings with no regard for compassion. Elder Arthroloth is grooming me to be his eventual replacement. Soon I'll be running the temple my way.
For you.
Non-believers are never welcome here.
Shrine of Mephala. 45 punch venture. Not sure if I should do this. It might give us a chance to test out what the hell are ash spawn. Rather, how dangerous are ash spawn. Need you to go there and die. Be my... There's quite a few of them. And they took him down without losing anyone. Well, one way to test things. They're reasonably hot. Yep. Ashbourne Immolator. Upper versions are not in the way. Shit. And upper versions. Okay, this is not good. I'm running out of things to throw their way. I'm gonna need a little bit of a breather. Silent and invisible. You still track me. Possible he can. It's also easy to lose track at this point. Okay. Oh fuck, there's more of them. They're sliding across the floor. Right. So we should not take fights against these too casually. In serious trouble. I was sort of prepared that there might be even more of them. Silver ore, ash palm. Gold, iron. Ebony, silver, ruby. Iron ruby. Okay, good loot. Gems and ore. We would have a little bit more damaging eye spell. I don't think we would have too much trouble. It's perfect for a situation like this. Narrow hallway, a lot of enemies coming your way. Affects more than one target at a time. Just didn't do enough damage. We could increase by 50%. That's a significant increase. Not sure how significant. I mean, there are resistances. I'm not sure how they all work. What I'm going for is there some kind of a mitigation, or is it just directly a percentage removed from the damage? Like, you do 5 points of damage on a spell, 3 points automatically get cut off and only 2 points affect them. Or if you, in a situation like that, you do 10 damage, even though it's only 5 points more, it would actually do more than double in additional damage to the target. If it's all percentage based, there's no advantage in doing larger, heavier hitting strikes compared to a lot of small, light strikes, as long as the damage per second is the same.
I am Arthroloth, Elder of the Reclamations and Keeper of this temple.
Tomb has been cleansed.
Spirits be praised. I'm hoping you didn't suffer much at the hands of those foul beings. Please, accept this as a token of my thanks.
500 gold. Shit. Do you know about Mirak?
Sounds like something from a dream, and yet it might be more strange.
What sort of a dream?
I remember a temple on Solstheim, and working to build something. It was not a pleasant dream.
What are the reclamations?
The Reclamations are the true tribunal, the Daedra that consecrate the Dunmer people, Azura, Methala, and Boethia. We call them the true tribunal because they have reclaimed their place in our hearts from the false tribunal that came before.
The false tribunal?
Sotha Sil, Amalexia, and Vivek represent what was. Beings who won the Dunmer people's hearts with their actions, but blinded them just the same. They were aberrations, false prophets. They used their status as heroes to shield the true tribunal from our minds. But now that they've been destroyed, the light can finally shine upon the House of Reclamations. May Azura, Methala, and Boethia guide you.
Okay. Tilmithrin. That's the name of the place we're going to. Oh, shit. Let's distract them a little bit. We'll get through this. Captain Ballet.
Thanks. I wasn't sure I'd make it off this farm alive. I wish I could have said the same for my man here.
What were those things?
Some of the Redoran Guard have taken to calling them ash spawn. Me, I don't care what they're called. All I know is they're a danger to Raven Rock and they need to be stopped.
How did that bring you to this old farm?
I was going to search for clues that might lead me to wherever they're coming from. I know it isn't the best place to start, but we know they've been coming from this direction.
I'll lend a hand.
Good. I can use all the help I can get. Besides, I don't feel comfortable leaving Raven Rock behind. And I'd hate to lose any more Redoran Guard.
Where do I begin?
We were searching the farm when the ash spawn ambushed us. Have a look around and see if you can turn up anything useful. Report back to me if you discover anything unusual.
But I have to stop here. Declaration of war. Raven Rock Stronghold. My calls for the unconditional surrender of your forces and the immediate cessation of all hostilities has been ignored numerous times. I therefore have no choice but to assume your purpose on Solstheim is hostile, and to treat Raven Rock Stronghold as an enemy of the Empire. I warn you, Any attempt to breach Fort Frostmoth will be met with an equal level of aggression. I will do everything in my power to wipe you and your forces off the face of Tamriel. There will be no further communications between us. Okay.
Have you found something?
Yeah, this, note.
This is strange. The note says it's from General Falx Carius, but that's impossible.
Why?
Well, Carius was the Imperial garrison commander at Fort Frostmoth, but he died over 200 years ago when the Red Mountain leveled the place. There's no way he could still be alive.
What do you want me to do?
If General Carius is still alive, there must be something keeping him that way. I need you to head out to Fort Frostmoth and check it out. I'm gonna head back to Raven Rock and prepare the men for further assaults. Be careful. This General Carius sounds out of his mind.
Kill General Falx Carius. Ah, more business. March of the Dead. Veteran Guard. Bone Mold Armor. No idea how good it is. It doesn't look like super good. Heavy steel armor. Something like that. Anyway, it's late in the evening anywho. I think I'll sort of start to mosey toward our target there. But there's a few sites all around that might be of interest, so we're going to zigzag to them, trying to paint a quick travel, few quick travel points on the way there.